This is a genuine snapshot of global affairs from exactly Thursday, May 26, 1720, as recorded in the American Weekly Mercury. The front page leads with a dispatch from The Hague detailing a massive succession crisis paralyzing Sweden, as the entire kingdom waits to see if the Prince of Hesse-Kassel will be proclaimed king. Further down the column, reports from Vienna describe a state of panic at the imperial court because the emperor has failed to produce a male heir. To resolve the crisis, politicians proposed moving the Prince of Portugal away from his home to be educated in the imperial court as the sole successor, treating the young aristocrat as a strategic pawn on the geopolitical chessboard. These royal bloodlines mattered to colonial readers in Philadelphia because a disrupted throne in Europe often dictated the flow of trade, the security of the Atlantic, and the inevitability of the next war. The consequences of this instability were immediate. Sweden began severe military preparations by sea and land to defend against an anticipated invasion by the Muscovites. Their coastal defense relied on a network of tar barrels staged along the shoreline, ready to be ignited as warning signals for troops to march the moment an enemy fleet appeared. Great Britain responded to these shifting power dynamics by mobilizing its own aggressive naval presence in the region. This engraving shows the scale of that response, a Baltic fleet consisting of 20 men of war of the line, deployed under Admiral Sir John Norris to secure the northern trade routes. Between the coastal beacons and fleets of 20 ships of the line, 18th-century diplomacy operated on a hair trigger, where any sign of weakness forced empires into preemptive mobilization. While fleets mobilized on the coast, another layer of conflict emerged within the social circles of London and Paris. A dispatch from London reports that Lady Jane Douglas abruptly abandoned the Earl of D at the altar, leaving behind the necessary apparatus already prepared for the nuptials. She eventually fled across international borders, seeking refuge in a French nunnery to escape the requirements of her aristocratic social contract. In Paris, political protest arrived in the form of a satirical painting, delivered directly to the Duke Regent by an anonymous messenger. The artwork depicts the young king covered in bank bills and diamonds, while the financier Mr. Law was painted in gold standing right beside a wooden gallows. These visual and social rebellions were met with violent enforcement, as imperial authorities policed public morality. Right here at the Royal Exchange in London, the common hangman publicly burned a book deemed blasphemous for attacking the doctrine of the Trinity. While the ruling class attempted to enforce moral and economic order through public spectacles, these dispatches of satire and scandal show an authority constantly being undermined from within. This map of the southeastern colonies shifts the narrative to the local desk, where European intrigue is replaced by the physical perils of the American frontier. Off this coastline, the Mercury reports a maritime mutiny involving a shipmaster and his rebellious crew. Mutineers subdued the ship's owner and a young boy by forcing iron bolts into their mouths before setting them adrift in a small boat. Beyond internal mutinies, Spanish privateers were active in the region, capturing British merchant sloops and escalating the naval danger for local traders. A brief report from South Carolina adds to the instability, confirming that local indigenous populations are again in arms and killing inhabitants. Even when human threats subsided, colonists faced a final, uncontrollable danger that dominated their daily lives. A terrifying storm collapsed barns, drowned a man in the river, and unleashed 2 hours of lightning, followed by hail the size of horse beans. From shifting European thrones to lethal local hail, these collective dispatches illustrate an existence where daily life remained perpetually teetering on the edge of chaos.
The Daily